Hi, friends of limitless spiritual entrepreneurs. How are you doing today? This is Shakti coming at you live. It is 3:15 Pacific time, and I wanted to just be here. Today's been an extremely busy day, but I wanted to be here to just jam it out with you all and see what comes up for you when I talk to you about sales. What comes up for you when I talk to you about booking more clients and getting more income, really growing your business. So I am just going to be here giving everybody a moment to hop on, settle in. And if you are here watching me live, go say hello. Say hello, let me know you're here so I can feel your energy. I can tap into your question. I can learn more about you and we can chat. There you go. And I'm just turning my live video on here so I can keep an eye on the comments here. So again, this session is all about answering questions about sales. Any resistance that comes up in sales, anything that gets in your way of really booking more clients and really getting the income you truly deserve. I just want to hold space today to receive your questions, to dive deeper with you, to make sure that I get to answer all your questions and you feel clear in moving forward. So let me know if you're here, drop a hello, say hi, so I know you're here and I can connect with you. And then we can go dive deeper into your specific question because I'm here making sure all your questions are answered and you get to move forward and grow your business in a way that feels aligned with you. So I'm going to just give it just one moment. I see Connie. Hi, Connie. Thank you for hopping on. Feeling your excitement. And I'm seeing your beautiful emojis. How are you doing, Connie? And if you're here to specifically ask questions about sales, please drop in the comment. What do you do? Who do you serve? And how do you help your clients? So who do you serve and how do you help them? There you go. All right. And while I see all this more folks popping up, I just want to talk about sales. Let's talk about sales, knowing that we are in a very powerful, energetic time right now. We are in Eclipse Portal, and we are stepping into 9 days of goddesses, starting from April 9th. April 8th is our new moon day, where we are going to have a solar eclipse. And then right after that, we're stepping into the Goddesses Day. We're coming out of the whole renewal weekend with Easter, Good Friday. There's just a lot of big movement of energy taking place. And some of us in the world are feeling like we are ready for something more, something bigger. We are ready to live a life where we feel more empowered, where we really get to tap into more of our mission and serve more clients. And if you are feeling this opening, this energetic opening taking place in your world, I am right here with you. I am right here with you. I'm feeling you. This is exactly how I feel too. It is really the time to up level. So I am just simply holding the space to really answer any questions, to help you create a plan so that you get past these resistances and you get to really step into the realm of booking new clients, growing your business, standing in your mission, spreading your mission, and doing what you love and make money while doing what you love. So that is really the excitement energetically taking place in this moment. And with that, I want to just talk very quickly about how things will shift. So there is a whole old paradigm around sales, and this paradigm has ruled businesses for a very long time. So I'm just going to take the liberty of walking you through a transformation I see energetically laid out for us. And this transformation is really from the paradigm where sales was a part of, it was really ruled by competition. Sales was all about competing with other people so that, and the belief was that there are very limited number of clients and everybody got to compete really hard with each other to be able to get clients. Well, guess what? In this new paradigm, this new era we are moving in, we are really anchoring on abundance, being clear on who your soul aligned clients, and believing and knowing wholeheartedly that there's abundance of people who you want to work with, and they are truly excited to work with you, so that you don't have to spend all your precious energy trying to fight or be in a flight or trying to hustle and trying to compete with each other to get ahead of others to book those clients. There is more ease possible. There's definitely more ease possible. And when you do this in an intentional, grounded way that is rooted in trust and integrity, it becomes far more easier to book clients who you want to work with. In the past, sales was all about making money so that you can pay your bills. It was all about seeing our potential clients as a transaction, right? Whereas in this new era, sales is all about making connection, making true, genuine connection that are rooted in trust. Sales is a value exchange between you and your clients. They have something of value, you have something of value, and you both come together in a trusted agreement where everybody wins, where they compensate you for your time and you provide them the service so that they can feel empowered. And this is really about co-creating something so magical that help them, that support them, and that in fact changes their lives. So that is the realm I want to invite you today to really feel into, because if we don't have these healed sales beliefs, it can become really hard to make progress, to really find the clients, book the clients, grow your business in a way that feels aligned with your heart. So that's where I want to invite you. And I am seeing beautiful Connie's comment. She serves women caregivers to separate their roles. And she's looking forward to all you bring to the table. Yes, thank you so much for looking forward to this and for sharing your excitement with serving your clients. Connie, I want to just put this out there. What is your biggest question on sales today? What is one thing that I can answer that can help you really feel even more excited about the prospect of working with more caregivers? So take a moment to feel into your question, Connie. And while Connie is thinking of a question, I want to just jump back on a question that was asked last week. I did a live last Friday, and there was a question about this fear of rejection. And I want to just acknowledge and validate this fear comes up a lot. The fear of rejection is a really big one. And I think this is one of the biggest layer that stops most entrepreneurs out there in being visible, in really, sharing their offers with the world. And when I want to say, as real as this fear is, it is a fear, right? It is still a fear. And what we can do is we cannot make this fear disappear completely, right? But we can step into the awareness of this is a fear, and help the mind equip with how do we work with this fear, right? How do we, it's not going to magically go away, but how could we really armor ourselves with a plan, with an understanding, so that when this fear start to hit us, we know what to do. So let's talk about rejection. Rejection can happen in many different ways. And one of the ways why rejection happens is when someone doesn't understand the value of our work, right? When someone says no without understanding the value of your work. If someone doesn't have the openness to have a conversation with you and to say, to make a decision, have like the mental space to even hear about your offer, your work, they may not be the right client for you. I want to start there. So what we want to be really good at, targeting the right clients. How do we know we're speaking to the right clients? The right clients for your work are the ones who have the need for your work. They have some challenge that they're working through. They have some desire that they really want. There's some level of empowerment that they really want, that your work is the solution for. So if you are targeting clients who are not a fit for your work, the rejection will be there. And the best thing to do is to step away from clients who instantly are telling you no, so that you can step into the realm of clients who you know are the exact match for your work. And that's the number one thing to work through this fear of rejection, is you want to make sure you're talking to the right people, people you know for sure have a need for your work, right? Second type of rejection comes up when they, you know, they have a need, this is the right client, but they don't value your work. And in that case, it becomes really important to lay out your program in a way, your process in a way that your potential client knows the steps they need to take with you in order to get the result that they're really looking for. So let's say if your client is here right now, Connie, I'm just using your example. I hope that's okay with you. Let's say Connie serves caregivers, right? And she's speaking to the right audience. She's talking to the right person. What we want to do in that case is we want to show this client a full blown out, well-defined journey from the place of how the client feels in this moment. What are they really are challenged by? And all the steps they need to take, think of this as a staircase, all the baby steps they need to take over and over again, over a period of time, to walk from this place of stress in being a caregiver to the place of, I got this. I got this. I know what my steps are. I can take these steps to get to a place of feeling empowered in being a caregiver. So when you have a conversation with your clients, it's really important to walk them through the detailed process and not to like get so much into the weeds of things where you're walking them through like every tool you're going to use, every question you're going to answer, every prompt you're going to share in each session, but at least to the point where they start to see the full laid out journey from the, you know, starting point all the way to the finish line, all the way to in that journey, the milestones that are clearly laid out so that your clients know, oh, by month 1, Connie will help me reduce my stress. By month 2, I know I am going to feel a bit more balance inside me. By month, 5, I'm going to be more in charge of, my partner's health. I would know how to communicate, how to connect with them, how to listen to them, how to speak up so that I don't feel as overwhelmed. by month 6, I will step into a whole new relationship with my partner. And that would be the journey. It will be important to share that journey with your potential clients so that they start to really appreciate the value of it. So that would be the number 2 part of really getting over the fear of rejection. The number 3 part comes up in, let's say, number 3 usually comes up in the form of objections. And I will say to you that objections are very natural. They're very natural. It's human nature to object. It's human nature to be excited about things, right? And it's human nature to start to rationalize our excitement. And it has nothing to do with your work, but this is how we all make decisions. So you can, think about, how do you shop, right? When you see an ad on TV, or you hear an ad on radio, or you see an online ad, or you hear someone sharing about their offer, how do you shop? And most of the times, people get interested in hearing, going deeper, engaging with that ad, because they feel emotionally inspired to, because they feel an emotional connection with somebody's offer or somebody's advertisement, right? But what people do is they have their emotional tug, and then they start to get in their head, and they start to rationalize whether their excitement was real, or whether their excitement is something they should act on. And this is the classic tug of war that happens in every human's inside, in every human's psyche, the battle between their heart and their mind. Drop a yes in the chat if you know what I am talking about, if you are picking up what I am expressing here. This is a very classic tug of war that each one of us experience in every day of our life. Is we start to question our own emotions. And if that starts to happen when you are in a client conversation, I want you to know that they are not objecting your work. If they have made it this far, they know what your work is about, they know they need your work, they see the full process laid out, and they're still objecting, it is a process they need to go through regardless of whatever you're pitching them. And I want to invite you to not resist this, not take offense to this, not see this as a rejection from them. I would welcome you to simply hold space for them. Simply give them space to fully work through their own internal battle so that they can come to a decision to the degree, to the level they have given themselves the permission to follow their heart. You can absolutely take steps to help their mind rationalize this. And you can talk to them about their objections, dive deeper into it. You can talk about, the number one objection that comes up, I don't have money, right? And when that objection comes up, you want to bring them back to the result they'll be getting by working with you. The results that they will be receiving by working with you has an opportunity cost to it. And you want to guide them to a place where they can really tap into the opportunity cost. So let's talk through this. The opportunity cost of a couple, right? A couple who constantly fights, a couple who is not happy with each other. What is the opportunity cost of that transformational work? While on the other side is a divorce waiting to happen. What is the cost of the divorce? Well, it costs a lot of money. Some people lose their homes, their houses, trying to, pay money to their spouses. There are opportunity costs to everything. And you can research these numbers on Google, and you can start to really help the client see the value of your work in a number format, in a way their mind can rationalize to them. And in this example, you can also really help them see, at each step of the way, how will their life start to change, right away in month number 1, how the relationship will change by month number 5, what will happen to the relationship. So you can start to lay the value out. And obviously, working with so many clients so far, I know that the cost of your program, the cost of your work is actually super tiny in comparison to the cost of not doing the transformational work. Because if we are in marriages and we are unhappy with our partners, it's really, we're sitting on a ticking time bomb here that can explode anytime, right? So it's like, the bigger piece here is being in these moments of vulnerability. Sometimes it's being in these moments where the client is objecting, and it's like really remembering to take a deep breath right there, and knowing that the client is objecting to their own heart. They're not objecting to your work. And being willing to hold space, being willing to talk through different components of their thought process, being willing to hold their hand through it, and being patient with them in this process. I think that will make this process go a lot easier without you having to take the burden of feeling rejected. And that gives people their space to make decision. Please know that, like, I highly recommend not pushing clients. I highly recommend not putting up these tactics that pressurize the clients in making a decision. My best work with clients have happened when clients had space to make their own decision. And I'll just be very honest with you, because if they have space to make their decision, that space allows them to trust. And this is the energy of trust they get to bring in your transformational program. And that just makes your process even more golden for them. Whereas if I start to put that pressure, play that pressure game, and tell a client, oh, you got to sign up like in 30 minutes, and you got to sign up like right now, give me your credit card number. Some clients will be ready for that. And if they're already sitting on this bank balance of trust within themselves, they will find it easier to jump on your offer right during the call. But some clients need time, and it's okay to give them time to think through this, opening the doors, really letting them know that you're here holding the space for them. You're here to coach them through this process so that they can objectively work through their objections, because their objections are really not about your program. Their objections are really about resisting their own growth. It's really resisting what their heart wants, what they emotionally need the support around. So let me know, how is this resonating? Is this making sense? Let me know if any follow-up question comes up around this, around the rejection of sharing your offers, around any of this, around any of these dynamics, around how to facilitate these conversations. when you speak to a potential client, it is important in this conversation to share, to understand from that client what is their challenge is, what are they really trying to find a solution for. And in that conversation that you get to have with them, it's important to share how your work is going to really solve that challenge. And I think this is the crux of everything. If your potential clients can communicate to you, if you can hold that space and let them communicate to you, this is my pain point, this is my challenge. And in that conversation, if you can show how your work can really help them, support them in finding a solution to that challenge, that just completely helps them in moving into the direction of really hiring you to work with them. If they don't see that clearly, then they're going to question this more. They're going to have a harder time to really step into that trust. And the beauty is that this part you can really strengthen with what you get to share with them on the call. How do you facilitate this conversation in a one-on-one setting? What do you walk them through during the call? That is something you can absolutely control and refine and really be better at. The decision part is theirs. And giving them space to make that decision is going to be very helpful in opening space for this new co-creation, in opening space for getting hired, in opening space for receiving that compensation from them. So knowing and being aware of that there are always two parts to any sales conversation, and you absolutely can control and refine and be better at how do you facilitate this conversation, what do you share, how do you walk them through, how do you answer objection. The other part, decision, leave it to them, let them make the decision. And if you do the other part well, they will have an easier time saying yes in their decision making. Let me know how this resonates with you. And if you have any questions, let me know let me know if I can answer them. And while I am just seeing these comments, Connie says, I love they are objecting to their heart. Yes, it usually has nothing to do with anyone else. It's a whole tug of war. It's a whole battle between their heart and their head, in all honesty. And honestly, we've been there. We all shop all the time. Some of us, we shop differently, right? Some of us see the product on Amazon and we like, the graphics of it. And sometimes we make decision based on that. Some of us really are analytical. We like to read the product description. We like to read the ingredients. We like to read everything that the company laid out for that product. And some of us like to even go beyond that and really go into the reviews, right? We really want to see the proof point of this product working well for us. And there's no right or wrong way of making a shopping decision. It is knowing who your buyer is and what do they value. Do they value the look and feel of things? Do they value more of that emotional connection? Or do they value very clearly laid out, information that is rational, objective, analytical in nature, and maybe that helps them make a decision. And wherever your clients are, help them, empower them in making that decision. And that is something you can absolutely refine on. And I highly recommend, as a business owner, you pay attention to that, because that is where your money is, right? To be able to support your clients, serve your clients, not from the point of where they sign up to work with you, but from the point of them entering in your door, understanding what their needs are, how they make decisions, how they think, how they rationalize, how they feel, and really empowering them every step of the way with the information, with the emails you provide them, with the information you provide them, with the reviews you provide them, with the type of offer you make, with how you package that offer. Everything is gotta speak to your people. And if it does, it's a win-win. It's a co-creation. They say, hell yeah, let's do it. If it doesn't speak, if it doesn't meet them in the moment, then it's going to be a harder sale to make. And I will tell you very honestly, as business owners, we are constantly cracking that code. We are constantly cracking the code of success. We are constantly cracking that code by understanding what the client's needs are. How can we best empower our clients? So if you have done something in the past that has not worked for you, do not give up. Keep going. Be willing to open up and look at all aspects of your buyer's journey, all aspects of your sales process, all aspects of your marketing. Keep dialing in, keep dialing in, keep dialing in, so that you get to really meet them. This is not about your work. This is not about your work. This is not about how brilliant you are. This is not about how talented you are. This is not about how gifted you are. You are gifted. There is no doubt in the world about that. Please do not make this about you. Please do not take anything personally. Please do not sit in the invalidation of you. Know that this journey is a co-creation. And if you can open yourself up in these moments of rejection, there are ways to really dial up everything in this buyer's journey so that your people get to step into their, heck yeah, let's do this. I hope this is making sense. Drop in the chat if this is making sense for you. Drop in the chat if you have any questions. I am reading Connie's beautiful comments. This is great, Shakti. Thank you. Connie says, I believe that. Yes, sister. Co-creation is the magic word. Co-creation is the magical word, especially in the world of business. Remember, you are a leader, right? But you are a leader to lead your clients. So, it's definitely always a co-creation, and that let the co-creation guide you forward. All right. I have been also collecting questions offline, so I am going to go through some other questions I have. How do you put offers out? One of the best ways, especially if you are an online business, is start to take your online presence seriously and start to pay attention to your online presence, starting to post every day, putting messages out there for your people to chew on, to digest, for your people to begin feeling inspired by you, for your people to begin seeing the value of what you have to offer to them. Think of social media as little baby transformation you're providing to your people. And I am not saying that you have to coach or teach in every social media post, but just some things that could be entertaining, that could be, snippets of your personal life or your clients' journeys, but putting out these little bite-sized messages where your clients start to feel inspired already. Sometimes what you put out in social media is not always the words you're saying or the captions you're writing or the hashtags you're using. A lot of times it is your vibe that you're presenting. And sometimes people don't even hear a word you're talking about, but people see you, how you're showing up. Some of the best learnings that have taken for my clients are not didn't come from the words I said to them or the feedback I have given to them or the corrections I have suggested to them. They came from them simply observing me. And for that, I invite you to use your social media wisely, allowing your wisdom to really come forward, allowing yourself to step into your authenticity, and not worrying about the standards out there, not worrying about if people will like or not like, but really using social media in an intentional way where you get to show up authentically to your people. And that would be the first point where people will start to see you. People will start to begin their transformation, even on an unconscious level, right with you. So posting on social media, really being visible out there is going to help you. How it will help you? It will start to warm up your audience to you. It'll start to establish that deeper level of trust with you, and that goes beyond words. And once your audience is warmed up, it's going to be far more easier to put some freebies out and get people interested in them, to put some free events out and letting people show their interest in them, to really start putting out some lower price offers in the world, and for people to really warm up to them. So this warming through your social media really helps you ultimately in selling your offers. And that would be the first thing to do, is to really take charge of your social media. And this is why in the spiritual sales accelerator, which is kicking off tomorrow, we are going to really dive into our social media content. We're really going to dial in our content so that we are speaking to our clients in a way that activates them to move in the direction of working with you. We're not just going to post things randomly. We're going to start to being intentional about them. We're starting to really be visible out in the world, because if your clients can't hear you, if they don't see you, they don't know that you have something to offer that is of value to them. So we're going to really go dive deeper into the social media and starting to build your presence that way, so that when it comes to the time of putting offers out there, it doesn't feel like a big stretch. There will be people who will be like, oh, I've seen her talking about this before. I have seen this before. I know, I see her journey. I see how she's showing up, and let me see what she has to offer. And that would be one of the, one of the basic step, one of the first steps to take in getting new clients and increasing your income. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if any question comes up on social media. I have another question. Connie, thank you for appreciating this live. Really, really thankful that you're here with me today. And I can't wait to dive deeper into the accelerator starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a really big day. We are kicking off the 8-week accelerator with a powerful ceremony. So, there are always two parts to everything. There is this one part is, how do you feel internally? How do you believe in yourself? How much do you stand in the value of your work? How much do you stand in really feeling the validation of what you offer to the world, right? And we're going to do that. We're going to create that energetic alignment so that you feel your very best, you feel your confident self, you feel authentic, you feel like you can stand in trust of yourself and your work. And that is a big component of energetic alignment that we will be diving into our sales accelerator, the 8-week training. And then the other part is strategically, how do you define an end-to-end sales process? How do you define these little steps that people can take with you from the point of stepping into your world all the way to the point of working with you? And it is so important to lay that process out, because when we don't have this process, we don't know how to find clients, where to get clients from, what to post, what to say, how to really create that journey. Without this process, it makes it very hard to even have clients come to our doors. But when you have this process, you know what steps you can take them through, what steps that are strategically designed in a way to fully warm them up, for them to fully see your expertise, your leadership, and for them to really believe, oh, this person is the person for me because they spoke to me in a language I understand, I could relate with them, and they have something that helps me move from my challenges into a space of empowerment. So that is really what we are going to be implementing over the next 8 weeks. And both aspects, the energetic alignment and the strategy, go hand in hand. Without strategy, energy alignment is not going to work. Without energetic alignment, strategy is not going to give you the results. And we need both. We need all hands on the deck for this to be successful, for you to find success. So that is really our plan for 8 weeks. Connie says, I am having fun now with social media. Amazing. Our medicine, yes, sister. This is beautiful. All right. Any questions so far, Connie? I know you're still here. Do you have any question on anything related to sales, marketing? And if you are watching this video live later, please put #replay. Let me know you're here. If you have any question come up as you're watching this video, let me know as well. And maybe marketing. Yeah, go for your question, Connie. I'm here. I am here to respond, to make sure you feel clear. And while Connie is taking a moment to type her question, I'm going to go through another question that somebody shared with me offline, which is something along the lines of, when I speak to my clients and when it comes to the time of saying how much is my program worth, something feels uncomfortable. And I want to speak to that. And this is a sign, if you are talking to a client and if you are having a hard time speaking your numbers, this is a sign that something in the body is in resistance to the money. Something is in the body is resisting to having more clients. Something in the body is feeling like, I don't know if this client can pay. I don't know, am I being too salesy? This is a sign of where energetically there's something is coming in the way in creating the resistance, so that, and that is showing up in how you speak up, how you share your money, your pricing to your clients. And this is something you can dive into, everything in energy can be straightened out and smoothened out and harmonized. And if this is happening, this is something you would bring to the energetic alignment calls on Thursdays, 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. And these are the layers we are going to be diving deeper into. We're going to be looking into so that you feel your absolute best. And if you think about it, there are just many layers that can come up. There could be beliefs that can come up, whether the client will have money, right? The layers can come up whether you are deserving of money, you're worthy of money, and all these layers have a belief system associated with it, have an emotion associated with it. And this is something we're going to work together in healing through, and so that you get to move past these resistances, so that you get to really step into deeper confidence in speaking up. And that is where that inner work comes in handy, so that you feel confident, you feel your very best speaking to a client, and there are no gaps in you feeling the excitement in supporting this client in their empowerment. And these are the gaps I highly recommend that you start paying attention to. If there are any gaps in your confidence, it is going to bring the energy down in the field. And these are the blocks we want to really smoothen out so that you feel confident, you stay in the zone of excitement, and your client can slowly start to match you there. Because remember, the client is going to go through their battle, their tug of war between their heart and their mind. And that's okay. They have full right to do that. They're human beings, right? So these gaps are something I personally take very seriously. And if a client has something like this come up, I want to go down to the layers and give them some quick read of, is this what's happening? Or ask them question and really walk them in the space of their empowerment so that they can feel confident in speaking up to their potential clients. So Connie, I see you have a question. Thursday 2 to 3 Pacific is when we are doing energetic alignment calls. And Tuesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, we are doing the strategy calls. And Friday, 11 to 12 Pacific, we are stepping into a co-working space to implement it all. So there are like 3 different calls mapped out in the Sales Accelerator where this is not a program you will join and feel like, I don't know what I need to do. I feel confused. I'm lost again. Yes, that call went okay. My question got answered, but I am still stuck. So you are going to have these 3 containers laid out where you can just plug in for more support, stay focused, implement. This is a very intimate space. All your questions are going to be answered. And we are going into the realm of everything known, in that marketing sales, from the marketing and sales perspective. But I am also going, and I'm fully capable, equipped to track you in that realm of unknown, to hold your hand, to track you from there and help you move past some of these energetic limits that show up so that you can take steps forward. This is not the place which will make it easy for you to be lost. If you have invested in other programs, you know what I mean. And sometimes people invest and they don't get the results. This is not the place for this to happen. This is a place where the actual work happens. And, wherever you are in your journey of entrepreneurship, your hands are going to be held. You're going to find the support to take the steps forward. And that is something I stand behind. And I strongly put that stake in the ground that if you join this, you're going to make progress, because there's no other option here. We're working at it from both ends, the energetic as well as the strategic. And your business deserves to grow. Your medicine deserves to be shared with the world, and it is our time now. All right, I see Connie. Connie is asking, so how do you market you? I market me in how I show up. I try my best to work a lot of energy internally so that when I show up, I can show up as a leader. And that's the rule number one. If I am feeling down in my energy, I take time to go internal. I take time to self-care. I take time to take a nap, move, meditate, bath, dance, go on hikes, whatever it takes. If my energy is low and I don't feel like I can step into my leadership, I take time for me to get myself back up. And that is number one. Rule number one is, I show up as a leader, and that's something I love to do. Because if I show up not feeling my very best, then I will have the hardest time holding space for others. And, marketing is a lot about showcasing people who you are, showcasing people what is possible for them. My clients are leaders, right? And my clients want to step more deeply in their leadership. They want to keep elevating their leadership. They want to speak up more. And the best way to market my work is to have me show up as a leader and in a capacity to hold space for others, and and sharing what I know sharing what I know. So that's like the rule number one, is being out there, being visible. And then the second part about marketing my work is a lot comes to you know a lot is defined on the basis of the campaign. What am I selling? What is my offer? Who is it for? Kind of writing emails, writing social media posts. So a lot like comes down to that. What is the content for different events? And we can all talk about all those things in the accelerator call, Connie. But this is the basic principle of marketing yourself, is show up in a way how your clients want to show up in their life. Show up in a way how your client wants to show up in their life. Show up in a way how your client wants to feel empowered. Show up in a way that your clients can see you and feel, oh, if I work with that person, I could be somewhat like them, knowing that they're different and you're different, and they're gonna find their empowerment in a different way. But the way you show up just help the client, envision the possibilities of really working with you. A lot of my clients, I talk about intuition a lot, and a lot of my clients work with me because they want to begin trusting themselves. They want to begin tapping into their intuitiveness. That's another great way of, laying out the content in a way that helps your client see what is possible for them to experience. So this is a very high level answer to your question, Connie. I hope this helps. And all that strategic part, I am so excited to dive in with you in the Sales Accelerator that is kicking off tomorrow. It's going to be a very powerful journey of growth. And the beauty is that the time we are in, the eclipse season, the 9 nights of goddesses, the spring, everything is working in our favor. So between April 2nd, which is tomorrow, to May 21, right? Right before the summer, or summer is in like June, but in this 8-week period, you're going to grow a lot. You're going to be consistent, you're going to be visible, you're going to start to implement a whole sales process, you're going to start planning your events, you're going to put your lead magnets together. You're going to create your marketing assets, your sales page or your PDFs, whatever it is that you want to guide your clients through. You're going to take major steps in your growth. And the way my group and I like to work is that we all work together. We all do jam it out. It's not that I walk you through a template and you're left alone. We come back to these things. The accountability is actually pretty powerful. And this is also a space where there's no pressure. At the same time, somehow everybody gets to make progress. So we ground, we meditate, we move our bodies, we heal, we talk about all the stuff that sometimes we're afraid to own in other spaces. We talk about our humanity. We talk about every resistance that comes up, in our way, in us feeling confident. We talk about all the messy things that make us human. And, that's why in the energetic alignment containers on Thursdays, we are going to dive deep because there are money stories we're all sitting on. There is blocks to our abundance we're all sitting on. We haven't learned the art of receiving, right? There's like the fear of being visible. All of this is going to show up, and you're going to be in a beautifully held, safely held healing space where all of these things can come up, be honored, and the energy can be released so that you can move forward in implementing the strategy for the week. This is also not the place where I'm going to give you, 80 steps. This is the space where you're going to get grounded. You're going to, turn inwards, listen to your intuition, and you're going to step into trust. And then you're going to first find your own answer, and then you're going to look at a framework to organize your thoughts. So you get to lead you here. I am not one of those people who will tell you, here's how you do it, here's what you need to do, I'm the one who will first lead you in helping you find your own answer. Then I'm going to share with you a framework where you can organize your thoughts. And then I'm going to have you write it out while we are all together on the call. So you're implementing everything as we speak. And at the end, I'm going to, invite this whole round of feedback where I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, I see this being written in one way. How does it feel if we modify this word to this word? And then you feel into your heart and you decide as a CEO of your business whether you like it or not. And I will tell you, this is everything, because then you are not feeling like you're sitting in a classroom being told by your teacher what to do. And what happens when we are in that setup? We compress, we shrink. We don't feel empowered. This takes our power back. And that is why, in order to grow your business, it's so important for you to really step into your empowerment. And that is why my process is really different. I know how to hold space for leaders. And I will leave you with that. I think I said a lot. I will leave you with that. If you are watching me live, say hi. If you end up watching this replay, please put #replay, drop your questions, comments, anything that comes up. Let me know how I can support you. I am just holding one vision, one excitement, is seeing everybody in this group lead forward, everybody grow, everybody create, grow their businesses, create thriving businesses. Everybody get to live a very comfortable life where we get to stand in our power, feeling like we're living our dreams, we're serving our clients, we are getting compensated in the most fair, abundant way. And if you do that, nothing else makes me more happier than just you stepping into that possibility. So if there's anything I can do to support you in this journey, please let me know. I'm here for you. This community is rooting for you. And I am holding this vision high and strong that this is your time. This is your time to step into this growth. You can have this. All right, beautiful sisters. I'm sending you lots of love, beautiful sisters and brothers, and have a wonderful rest of your week ahead. And I hope to see many of you tomorrow. And let me know if there's anything I can answer between now and tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.